She was supposed to dominate the WNBA in 2026. Instead, the Indiana Fever might be the most disappointing team in basketball right now. Last year, this franchise looked untouchable.
In the game.
All right.
Here is Clark, splashing home a three from way downtown.
Indiana Fever had the hype, the stars, the headlines, and most importantly, they had Caitlin Clark entering her prime with a roster built to win in OW. But somehow, everything is falling apart.
To Boston, off to Clark. Clark, a three to tie. No! Can't hit. Loose ball.
The offense looks broken. The chemistry looks forced. The expectations are crushing them. And while the Fever are struggling to even look consistent, one of their biggest rivals, Angel Reese, is doing the exact opposite, embracing chaos and turning it into momentum. The scary part? The numbers back it up. The Fever came into 2026 with championship expectations. Instead, they've become one of the most overanalyzed, overpressured, and emotionally unstable teams in the league. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this season may be exposing problems that were hiding in plain sight all along.
And again, a lot of shoes were filled last year.
Catch it, shoot, and Clark delivers with a three.
This is not a Caitlin Clark hate video. This is about why a roster this talented keeps underperforming. Because when you actually break down the film, the rotations, the pressure, the expectations, and the locker room dynamics, you start realizing the Fever's problems go way deeper than missed shots or bad nights. Today, we're ranking the biggest reasons the 2026 Fever season has gone off the rails so far. From the impossible expectations surrounding Caitlin Clark, to the roster decisions that still make no sense, to the brutal comparisons with Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky that fans were not expecting to happen this year. And trust me, the final reason might be the one nobody inside the organization wants to admit publicly. Because sometimes the hardest thing in sports isn't rebuilding, it's surviving success.
And at guard from Iowa, wearing number 22, Caitlin Clark.
The number one thing destroying the Fever right now? Expectation inflation. And honestly, it started before the season even began. After the Fever's rise in popularity behind Caitlin Clark, this team stopped being treated like a developing contender. Suddenly, they were being discussed like a guaranteed super team. Every national broadcast hyped them. Every sports show debated them. Every opposing arena treated them like the finals. That changes everything psychologically, because now every loss feels like a crisis. Every cold shooting night becomes a national discussion. And every Caitlin Clark turnover gets dissected frame by frame online.
The numbers back it up.
That pressure matters. You can actually see it in the offense. Instead of playing loose and instinctive basketball, the Fever often look tense, hesitant, overstructured. Clark sometimes looks like she's trying to satisfy 10 different expectations at once. Score 30. Create every play. Lead emotionally. Stay efficient. Silence critics. Carry ratings. And somehow win every game. That's not sustainable. And this is where the Angel Reese comparison becomes uncomfortable for Fever fans. Because while the Fever entered the year trying to protect expectations, Angel Reese leaned into controversy and pressure. She embraced the villain role. She embraced physical basketball. She embraced the criticism. Meanwhile, the Fever became obsessed with proving they were serious contenders. And ironically, that pressure may be making them worse.
From beyond the logo, and a little point after.
Basketball teams play best when identity is clear. Right now, Indiana's identity changes every week. Some nights they want to play fast. Other nights, they slow everything down. Sometimes it's the Caitlin Clark show. Sometimes the offense disappears into isolation sets.
That's like the hardest thing as a basketball player is when you're not making shots to really stay in it. So I'm certainly proud of myself. Really, really battled. And a lot of those shots are very, very makeable. And I finished well, really well around the rim and 2-point area to start the season today. I didn't finish well in the 2-point area. Like obviously 7 for 17 from 3. Obviously I got a lot up with how the game was played out.
And that confusion is becoming visible. But the expectations are only the beginning, because the second major problem might actually be even more damaging long-term. And once you see how the Fever built this roster around Caitlin Clark, you start realizing why some fans believe the team accidentally created a basketball system that works against its own superstar.
This is huge. Look at the spacing here. Players 2 and 3 clog the lane. No space for penetration.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. The Fever built a talented roster, but not necessarily a cohesive one. There's a difference. On paper, this team looks incredible. Spacing, veteran experience, athleticism, star power. But basketball isn't played on paper. It's played through chemistry, rhythm, and role clarity. And right now, Indiana still looks like a team trying to figure out whose team this actually is. One possession, Caitlin Clark is orchestrating everything. Next possession, the offense freezes into isolation basketball. Then suddenly the pace slows completely. That inconsistency kills offensive flow. And the most shocking part? It's making Clark less dangerous. Because Caitlin Clark is at her best when the game feels chaotic. Fast reads, quick movement, transition opportunities, constant motion. Instead, there are stretches where Indiana looks rigid, predictable, almost cautious. And when the offense stalls, the pressure immediately shifts back onto Clark to save possessions. That creates bad habits, forced passes, deep rushed threes, hero ball possessions late in the shot clock. Then social media explodes, blaming her for everything. But roster construction matters. Look at teams built around elite playmakers historically. The best systems simplify reads. They maximize spacing. They create rhythm. Right now, the Fever often feel like a collection of talent instead of a synchronized machine. And this is where the Angel Reese comparison gets really interesting. Because Reese's teams don't always look prettier. They don't always shoot better. But they usually know exactly who they are. Physical, aggressive, emotionally relentless. That identity gives players confidence. The Fever still seem caught between being a fast-paced Caitlin Clark offense and a slower traditional system. Even defensively, the communication problems are obvious. Late rotations, missed switches, transition breakdowns. Championship-level teams don't consistently make those mistakes, especially not teams with this much talent. And there's another layer here nobody talks about enough. The Fever are carrying the emotional weight of being the league's biggest story. Every game feels amplified. Every controversy trends online. Every hard foul becomes a debate show topic. That pressure wears teams down mentally, especially one still trying to define itself. But the biggest problem of all? It's not the pressure. It's not the roster. It's not even the expectations. It's what happens when a team starts losing confidence in its own identity. Because once confidence disappears in professional sports, even talented teams can collapse faster than anyone expects. Here's the real truth behind Indiana's 2026 collapse so far. This team stopped playing naturally, and you can see it everywhere. Great basketball teams react instinctively. The Fever are thinking too much, thinking about expectations, thinking about criticism, thinking about narratives, thinking about proving themselves. And once that happens, confidence disappears. Suddenly open shots feel heavier. Simple passes become difficult. Mistakes snowball emotionally. That's exactly what's happening right now. Caitlin Clark's biggest superpower has never just been scoring. It's freedom. The freedom to play creatively. The freedom to improvise. The freedom to make risky, genius-level reads. But when every possession feels judged nationally, players become cautious. And cautious basketball is deadly, especially for a fast-paced offensive star like Clark. Now compare that to Angel Reese. Reese thrives emotionally. She feeds off noise. Conflict energizes her. Clark's game is more rhythm-based and flow-based. That means when the environment becomes tense, the entire offense tightens up with her. And suddenly, the Fever stop looking like contenders and start looking like a team trying not to fail. That mindset changes everything. The scary part? This doesn't mean the Fever are doomed forever. Actually, the opposite. Sometimes talented teams need adversity to finally discover identity. The problem is championship windows move fast in professional sports, and expectations don't wait. Fans expected domination immediately. Media expected a dynasty immediately. Sponsors expected headlines immediately. But basketball development doesn't always happen in a straight line. Sometimes teams have to collapse emotionally before they evolve strategically. And that may be exactly where Indiana is right now. So let's rank the real reasons the Fever's 2026 season has struggled. Number 3, the media pressure became overwhelming. Number 2, the roster still lacks true system identity around Caitlin Clark. And number 1, the team lost its natural rhythm trying to live up to impossible expectations. That's the real story. Not talent, not effort, not even coaching alone. Pressure. Pressure changed the way this team plays basketball. And until Indiana rediscovers confidence and identity, the super team label might continue hurting them more than helping them. So here are the 3 biggest takeaways. The Fever didn't collapse because they lacked talent. They collapsed because expectations changed the way they play. And until they fully build an identity around Caitlin Clark's strengths, the inconsistency may continue. But the season isn't over. And honestly, sometimes the most dangerous teams are the ones forced to figure things out the hard way. In the next video, we're breaking down whether Angel Reese is actually winning the media battle against Caitlin Clark in 2026 and why fans are more divided than ever. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think the Fever are still real contenders, or were expectations way too high from the beginning? Drop a basketball if you still believe in Indiana. And subscribe to WNBA Shorts for weekly deep dives.